to a term of 18 years in the state.
18 years? Are you kidding me? That's insane! You don't know what really happened?
Sir, step back.
Hands where we can see them.
Mr. Reed, that's enough.
Get off me!
You can't send me
Put your
away
hands
like
behind your back! I'm not... Now!
Can't take my life
Order,
like this.
order in the court.
October 7th, 2016. Criminal Courtroom 2A, Chicago. The courtroom was packed long before the judge arrived. Journalists filled the backbenches, their cameras and notebooks ready, while a quiet line of police officers stood along the walls. Outside the courthouse, crowds had gathered since early morning, waiting to hear the outcome of one of the city's most mysterious crime cases in recent years. At the center of the room sat the defendant, Marcus Hale. Marcus looked calm, almost unusually calm for someone facing the possibility of decades behind bars. His dark suit was neatly pressed, his hands folded in front of him on the defense table. Only the slight tapping of his fingers revealed the tension underneath. Judge Eleanor Grant entered the courtroom at exactly 9 a.m., her robe flowing as she took her seat behind the bench. The clerk called the room to order, and the quiet conversations immediately disappeared. Everyone in the room already knew the name Marcus Hale. For months it had been repeated in news headlines across the city. Marcus Hale had been born on May 12, 1989, in a quiet neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. As a child, he was described by neighbors as polite and intelligent. His teachers often said he had a sharp mind and a natural ability with technology. By the time he was 16, Marcus was already repairing computers for people in his neighborhood, earning small amounts of money while learning more about software and electronics. After graduating high school, Marcus enrolled in a local community college where he studied information technology. Friends remembered him as someone who preferred working alone, spending hours in front of computer screens experimenting with programs and security systems. For a while, his future seemed promising. But somewhere along the way, things began to change. Investigators later discovered that Marcus had become deeply involved in underground online communities focused on hacking and digital fraud. What began as curiosity slowly turned into something far more dangerous. By 2015, Marcus had developed a sophisticated system capable of breaking into small financial networks. At first, the activity appeared harmless, minor digital intrusions, experimental code, testing vulnerabilities. But the temptation of easy money soon pushed him further. Police reports revealed that Marcus had created a complex operation targeting small businesses that used outdated payment systems. By infiltrating their networks remotely, he was able to redirect small amounts of money into anonymous digital accounts. Individually, the transactions were tiny, sometimes only a few dollars at a time, but over months, the stolen funds quietly added up to nearly $2 million. For almost a year, no one noticed. Then something went wrong. In January 2016, one of the targeted financial systems triggered a security alert after detecting unusual network behavior. Cybercrime investigators from the federal task force began tracing the digital trail left behind. Marcus had been careful. He used encrypted connections, hidden servers, and anonymous accounts to cover his tracks. But even the most careful criminals leave small mistakes. One night, while routing money through a chain of digital wallets, Marcus accidentally logged into one account using his home internet connection. That single mistake was enough. Within weeks, investigators were able to trace the activity back to his apartment. Federal agents arrived early one morning, knocking on their door with a search warrant. Computers, hard drives, and encrypted storage devices were seized. When forensic experts examined the devices, they discovered the entire operation, hundreds of scripts, transaction records, and digital logs detailing every intrusion. Marcus was arrested that same day. The trial quickly became one of the most discussed cybercrime cases in the city. Prosecutors described Marcus as a highly intelligent criminal who had deliberately designed a system to quietly steal from hundreds of businesses. The defense argued something different. They claimed Marcus had never intended the operation to grow so large, that what started as an experiment had spiraled into something he no longer knew how to stop. For months, the courtroom heard testimony from cybersecurity experts, financial investigators, and victims who had unknowingly lost money through the hidden network Marcus created. Finally, the jury reached its decision. Now the entire courtroom waited for the final step, sentencing. Judge Grant looked down at the documents in front of her before raising her eyes toward Marcus. Mr. Hale, the evidence presented during this trial clearly demonstrates that your actions caused significant financial harm to hundreds of victims. Marcus remained silent. The judge continued. You used your intelligence and technical knowledge not to build something productive, but to exploit vulnerabilities for personal gain. The room was completely still. Therefore, this court sentences you to 15 years in federal prison for organized cyber fraud and financial theft. A quiet murmur moved through the spectators. Marcus finally lifted his head, his calm expression fading for the first time. For nearly a year, he had controlled every detail of his digital operation from behind a computer screen. But in the end, one small mistake was all it took to bring everything crashing down.